And now today's top story on Jsu22 Newswatch.
As promised, the rest of our troops in Iraq will come home by the end of the year. After nearly 9 years, America's war in Iraq will be over.
9 years later, and the troops are finally coming home.
I'm Courtney Christopher Page, and I'll tell you about a wounded soldier who has returned to Mississippi to take on another mission, helping others.
And Jackson State University, get ready.
Government to the sea that Alabama is not going to place any limit upon itself. It must be imposed from without.
Because Sundance is here to move you forward. Jsu22 Newswatch starts now.
Hello, I'm Andrew Nomura.
And I'm Jade Hewitt, and this is your Jsu22 Newswatch, a newscast produced by mass communication students at Jackson State University.
With our top story, the U.S. military has officially ended the war in Iraq. The American flag was retired during a ceremony in Baghdad, and President Barack Obama marked the end of the war earlier in the week. He met with Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki in advance of the last American troops leaving Iraq. The roughly 4,000 American troops still in the country will pull out by the end of this year.
Army Sergeant April Jackson is serving a second tour in Iraq. She is also a Jackson State University mass communications major. She is currently stationed in Kandahar, Afghanistan. Sergeant April Jackson, thanks for joining us. President Barack Obama made good on his promise in 2010 that he would bring the troops home. Tell us how you felt when you heard the news.
My first emotion is that I was overjoyed that, finally this chapter is about to come to an end, and that most of my comrades will be able to go home and spend the holidays with their families because they haven't seen them in, 10 to 14 months. And then afterwards, the feeling was a little sad because I know that we were leaving a country that really wasn't stable enough to withstand on its own.
What's the atmosphere like in Afghanistan right now, and how is it affecting you and your comrades?
After we received the news that Iraq was closing, my unit was relocated to Afghanistan to carry on the mission there that we were doing in Iraq. And now that I'm in Afghanistan, within my first week of being here, we did experience some rocket attacks. It was like 5 within the first 3 days. It was a little scary because it's the most I've ever experienced at one time. However, it has thinned out a lot since then. The atmosphere here is more. It's not as combative, I should say, in the location where I am. However, we are still in a combat zone, so we must stay aware and alert at all times. And the people, the Afghans here, they do want help. They want to learn how to be able to defend and protect themselves. So they're willing and welcoming us and learning what we have to teach them.
When do you expect to come home?
The tentative date is to return home in the spring, so around March. The fact that my husband is here with me does make this deployment much, much better because if I was here alone, the hardship would be greater. Having that companion here, especially being the significant companion that he is, it does make the deployment easier. However, we both would love to be at home right now. But once we do return home, I do plan to come back and visit my school, Jackson State, go JSU. I do every chance I get a chance to watch JSU play on the football season that was going on. They do air some of the college games, and I got to see Jackson State once. And I'm the only one around here repping Jackson State, but just know that I am repping it from all the way in the Middle East.
Army Sergeant April Jackson, thank you for taking time to talk with us. We wish you and your husband a safe return home, and happy holidays.
The withdrawal caps a war in which $80 billion was invested, over 4,000 troops were killed, and even 32,000 more were wounded.
A soldier from Mississippi recently returned home after being injured while fighting in Afghanistan, but he hasn't let his injuries keep him from helping others. Jsu22 Newswatch reporter Courtney Christopher Page joins us with more.
That's right, Jay. C.J. Stewart has started a foundation so that families could stay connected with their loved ones who are still fighting in Kuwait. After serving his family, his friends, and his country, serviceman C.J. Stewart is celebrating life. Folks may call him a wounded warrior, but he's actually a modern-day American-made hero. After receiving 40 surgeries from a June 2010 insurgent RPG attack on his Army unit in Afghanistan, C.J. has been inspired to be a leader and make it his heart-filled mission in life to inspire others with his story of courage, faith, and determination. C.J. started the C.J. Stewart Foundation. The first line of duty for this mighty mission was to have a Christmas party at Broadmoor Baptist Church in Ridgeland. The event featured children of soldiers deployed in Kuwait with the 112, 113 MP companies. The party included gifts, food, and of course fun. The kids got the chance to receive gifts, have their photos taken with CJ, and the most precious diamond in the rough, a live video message with family members currently serving in Kuwait. The family members, some shy about finding the words to say, simply said it all. Merry Christmas, Mom and Dad. We love you so much. CJ was recently released from the Walter Reed Army Medical Center in the nation's capital. He had 40 surgeries and 18 months of treatment. He arrived in Madison on Friday to complete rehabilitation and enrolled at Mississippi College to pursue his interest in the ministry.
How does it feel to have all these people around you?
Good. It makes this a heck of a lot easier.
And if you would like more information about the C.J. Stewart Foundation, please contact C.J. Stewart Foundation Board Member Chuck Stewart at 601-826-4110 or cstewart@unifiedbrands.net to email your questions and comments, or the website at www.cjstewart.org. And the young man has had 40 surgeries, and when I did the news story in Madison, I didn't show this in the video, but his arm has the surgeries right down here in this section. And when he wears a long sleeve shirt, of course nobody knows, but then when he wears a short sleeve shirt, he goes out, and that's when people, you know, they may stare, but that's not stopping him from doing this mission.
What an amazing man, and such a great story, and we should definitely applaud him for what he has done for us.
And we need to applaud him because of the fact he just left the hospital on Friday, and then he gave this party on a Sunday.
Wow.
So, and it's all about, you know, giving back, and that's what he believed in doing.
Absolutely remarkable. Thank you, Courtney.
And you're welcome.
Jackson State University recently welcomed the Sundance Institute and Film Forward series to Jackson State University. The event featured 10 independent films screened in 14 locations around the world.
The inaugural Film Forward Advancing Cultural Dialogue selected Mississippi as one of the 6 domestic stops to take part in an international cultural exchange. 9 film screenings were held during homecoming week here at JSU. The film Udon was followed by a question and answer session with award-winning film director Vikram Matwani. Winter's Bone was directed by Oscar-nominated filmmaker Deborah Granick. Bluegrass musician Meredith Sisko, who was featured in Winter's Bone, performed with a JSU University jazz musician during a reception. The reception also included an international fashion show and Indian and American cuisine.
One of the films shown was Freedom Riders, directed by filmmaker Stanley Nelson. The film tells the story behind a courageous band of civil rights activists who, in 1961, creatively challenged segregation in the American South. The film was screened at the Mississippi East Center at JSU. Several Freedom Riders still live in Mississippi and attended the event. They also shared their stories with the audience during a panel discussion after the film. Jsu22 Newswatch reporter Denisha Pearson has more.
The movie Freedom Riders was aired at Mississippi's East Center here in Jackson. The guest list for the event included students, faculty, and Freedom Rider Hezekiah Watkins.
I became a Freedom Rider actually by accident.
The first Freedom Ride began on May 4, 1961, led by co-director James Farmer. According to Watkins, Farmer had little support from civil rights greats such as Martin Luther King Jr. and others. King warned them that their actions would have dire consequences. Watkins had no idea what he was getting into.
So I was taken to punishment that same night and put on death row. I didn't know I was on death row until the following morning.
It was at that moment Watkins realized he was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I was only there, fortunately, for only 4 days. After that, I was released and brought back to Jackson.
These people are going from town to town and getting off the bus, Negro men and white women, to provoke acts of violence.
The Sundance Institute visits Jackson State University every year. Other movies premiered this year included America and Winter's Bone.
Freedom.
For more information about Film Forward and the Sundance Institute, go to www.sundance.org/Film Forward.
The Mississippi Film Commission recently hosted the second annual Mississippi International Film Festival at Davis Planetarium in downtown Jackson. JSU22 Newswatch reporter Linda Ladine joins us with more. Hey, Linda.
Hey, Andrew, how are you? This was such a special event. The festival was sponsored by local filmmaker Edward St. Pay. The event showcased films made in Mississippi as well as around the world. Several of the short films, such as Mississippi Remix and Wolf Hall, focused on race relations and cultures in Mississippi. Actor and activist Danny Glover was guest speaker during the awards luncheon. I asked him about the importance of his film Freedom Song as well as the importance of the festival for Mississippi.
A wonderful director who written the script, and I also got a chance to meet for the first time, even though I knew who they were then, people like Dave Dennis and Bob Moses. So it was really an honor to be able to do that.
And this festival also celebrated the 50th anniversary of the Freedom Riders. As a matter of fact, Jay, President Obama has invited the Freedom Riders to the White House for the Christmas holidays.
How exciting, an invitation to the White House.
Yes, definitely.
And to celebrate such a good cause.
In other news, more than 200 women gathered recently for the Women of Color Entrepreneurs Conference held in the Mississippi East Center. Guest speakers included retired Brigadier General Velma Von Richardson. Honorees also included Alma and Winston Pittman. The couple are founders of the 6th largest black-owned auto dealership in the country. The overall goal of the conference was to network and to help create jobs by assisting women-owned small businesses to complete the certification process. Organizers hope the conference will serve as a catalyst to empower women entrepreneurs.
Jackson State is also serving as a catalyst to empower local business owners. Several small businesses have opened at One University Place, including Royal Blue Boutique, the Penguin Restaurant and Bar, Envision Eye Care, and Gallery One Art. That's not all. Right above these booming new businesses is the site of Jackson's newest urban living experience. State-of-the-art apartments are available for rent. Both single and two bedrooms are available. Tenants say it's the ideal location because it's close to downtown and the JSU campus.
If you happen to be close to campus, you just may catch a glimpse of one of the new J-Tram buses. They are the result of a Green Initiative partnership between Jackson State University and J-Tram. Two new JSU-themed buses were unveiled. They are blue and white and display images of students, including a larger-than-life photo of current Miss Jackson State, Mia Ashley.
I am extremely ecstatic about this J-Tram bus. I really consider it an honor to be riding around Jackson. Like, I just never imagined this would happen during my reign at Miss Jackson State University. And what a better way to end the semester by being put on the side of a J-Tram bus. I can't believe it.
And if you're a Jackson State student, you get to ride for free.
If you're riding around in your car, you may soon have to think twice about talking on your cell phone. The National Transportation Safety Board is recommending an outright ban on all electronic devices while driving. Cell phone use while driving is currently legal in this state, but some Mississippi lawmakers want to change that with a ban on handheld use as well. Some legislators say this ban is needed because an anti-texting law alone would be hard to enforce because police wouldn't know if drivers were texting, dialing, or receiving calls. I'm actually from Houston, Texas, where this ban is not in effect, but I have friends in New York who tell me that using a cell phone in that state and several others is banned while driving. Personally, I don't know if I could go without using my phone at all, and that's probably not a good habit to have. But we want to know what you think. Should a cell phone ban become national law?
Share your opinion on our JSU TV22 Facebook page, and we'll share some of your comments at the end of our newscast. When we come back, it's lights, camera, and action. Industry professionals go one-on-one with aspiring journalists.
JSU22 Newswatch will return after these messages, so don't go away.
You're watching JSU22 Newswatch with Andrew Demora, Jade Hewitt, reports from Courtney Christopher Page, and sports with sports director Maurice Richardson. This is JSU22 Newswatch.
Welcome back. Students got a taste of the real world during the Mississippi Broadcasters Association MAB on Campus Day at JSU.
The Department of Mass Communications hosted the event at the Mississippi East Center. The event was sponsored by MAB and brought together professionals from television and radio stations across the state to critique portfolios and mentor students interested in multimedia careers. Faculty and students from JSU, Alcorn State University, and Delta State University attended the day-long event. The goal of MAB Day is to continue a shared dialogue with mass media professionals, faculty, and students. MAB on Campus Day continues next semester and will be held at the University of Southern Miss, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State.
In other campus news, Miss Metro Jackson 2011 has been named, and she is one of Jackson State's own. Kenitra Thompson is a senior mass communications major. She will travel throughout the capital city speaking and mentoring youth as part of her reign. Thompson is active in numerous campus organizations, such as Tiger Pride, the JSU student chapter of the National Association of Black Journalists, and Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Young ladies out there who are inspiring to do pageantry, but they say, I don't fit the ideal body type, the image type. Go for it. Show them that you are beautiful. Show them why your beauty is beautiful.
Kenitra will also get to compete in the Miss Mississippi pageant, which will be held next June.
We go from a beauty queen to the student who is king of swing. You might see freshman Harold Owens III around campus walking the dog or rocking the baby. Harold is an expert when it comes to handling a yo-yo. The chemistry major recently competed in a national tournament in California. He beat out 15 other contestants to take first place title. Harold was sponsored by the Yo-Yo Factory and will have his name appear on that company's factory brand yo-yos across the country. Congratulations, Harold. You know, I just bought my yo-yo the other day, and I'm doing well with walking the dog, walking the baby. You know, I'm just playing with you all.
I don't think I could yo-yo at all. No. It wouldn't work for me. But still to come on JSU22 Newswatch, local journalists help make the holidays a little brighter for needy families.
And Christmas comes early for JSU football coach Rick Cummings, and find out which team is punching their ticket into the NCAA volleyball tournament. I'm Maurice Richardson. Sports is next.
It's the #1 cause of blindness in adults. It doubles the risk of heart attack and stroke. If trends continue, 1 in 3 children born today will face it in their lifetime. 1 in 4 people who have it don't know it yet. And 1 in 5 Americans are at high risk of developing it. Together, we can stop a disease that burdens and shortens life. Help us raise awareness, raise research funds, and raise hope at StopDiabetes.com.
JSU hired its first female athletic director this year, the JSU women's volleyball team won its first ever SWAC championship title. The Lady Tigers defeated four-time SWAC champions Alabama A&M in an exciting match. Not only did the volleyball team win their first SWAC title, but according to head coach Rose Washington, it shows that they can compete with other schools as well.
I mean, it just put us even more on the map as far as getting our name out there and letting people understand as far as volleyball, one of your Olympic sport, that we're just as competitive.
We just need to go out there with confidence and not just worry about how big they are, because they are human. They're not, like Coach said this morning, bionic. So I think we can do it. If we play our best, we can really compete with them.
I think we just got to play our game. Just got to show up, like we always say, show up and show out.
The Lady Tigers will face Big Ten champions and #2 seed Nebraska in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. But you better believe the Lady Tigers will be ready and focused for the challenge. Turning now to football, JSU senior quarterback Casey Terrio had an astonishing performance against the Alcorn State Braves in the Capital City Classic. He threw for a career-high 539 yards and 4 touchdowns in his last game as a Tiger. He also captured JSU's single-season record for most completed passes, passing yards, and total offense. Terrio led the Tigers to an overall record of 9-2 this year, and head coach Rick Comegee couldn't be more proud of his star quarterback.
You know, I'm glad to see him go out that way, too. All their parents were here watching them play, and I was glad the parents came back, and Casey's dad was there. He was just so proud of Casey after the game. You know, it was good to see.
Speaking of head coach Rick Comegee, JSU has decided to give Comegee a 2-year contract extension through 2013. Comegee and the Tigers went 9-2 this year, with their only losses coming to Alabama A&M and 2011 SWAC champions Grambling. Even though the Tigers could not play in the SWAC championship this year due to low APR scores and struggles in the classroom, Comegee has revamped the Tigers program since taking over as head coach in 2006. He has compiled a record of 41-26 and won the SWAC title back in 2007.
It means a lot that this day has come. We can now settle down and move into our recruiting and find those athletes that are deserving enough to come in here and be champions here at Jackson State.
Today, Terrio was named to College Sporting Network HBCU Offensive Player of the Year. Now, it was a great season for the Jackson State University football team, and I'm looking for bigger and better things come next season.
Personally, I can't wait for next season myself.
I mean, Terrio did such a great job this season. I mean, Donovan Robinson also did a great job, too. He had 16 sacks.
Yeah, he had a fantastic season, Andrew.
Great players.
Great player.
That's all in sports.
Thank you, Maurice.
You're welcome.
Christmas is just around the corner. Find out what the weather will be like as you go shopping.
You're watching JSU22 Newswatch. Don't go away.
Fields where they lay, tending their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Nowhere.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Myers, president of Jackson State University. We hope you feel all the warmth and wonder of the holidays. In every smile you see, every moment you share, every memory you keep. Happy holidays from the Jackson State University family.
Started off pretty lights this morning across the Jackson State campus and over downtown Jackson as we look out over the area with some few high wispy clouds moving over the city. Not too bad at all starting out this morning, but it is fairly cold statewide across the area as we are starting at 27 here in Jackson, 27 up in Greenville. It's actually 24 over in El Dorado, Arkansas right now. So it is fairly cold statewide. And we do expect these temperatures to remain fairly cold over the next couple hours before they begin to warm up significantly as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. You're expecting 50 by noon, 53 by 3 p.m. That should be our high for today, and we should be dropping back off to 48 as we head into the late afternoon, as you head back home from work and from school. This is how we topped out yesterday here in the Jackson State area. 51 was the high yesterday, and that's after we started out at 24 degrees. That's actually our lowest temperature thus far this season, and actually got pretty close to a record low of 19. So it was fairly cold yesterday. We do not expect temperatures to get that cold over the next couple of days, but they will remain below freezing as we go through the weekend.
Welcome back. Earlier in our newscast, we asked you to weigh in on our Facebook question of the day. Should there be a national cell phone ban?
Here's what some of you shared. Cameron wrote she believes there should be a texting ban, but not a cell phone ban. And Martha says texting while driving is dangerous and a law definitely needs to be passed. It's not too late to weigh in. Let us know what you think. Happy holidays! Members of the Jackson Association of Black Journalists participated in Santa's Toy Shop, sponsored by the Salvation Army. They joined dozens of other volunteers to make the holidays brighter for needy families.
And it's just wonderful of all the people around Jackson and Mississippi who have donated time, their efforts, and lots of toys and items that will make someone's Christmas a lot brighter. Thank you.
And finally, the student chapter of the National Association of Black Journalists sponsored its 11th annual Adopt a Family Party. This year's recipients of toys and gifts were the Harris Carter family and their 4 children, DeAnthony, Deontay, DeAndre, and DeAaron.
JSU NABJ members and advisors kept the spirit of giving in mind as they presented gifts and cash donations to the family. What an amazing way to give back. That's what Christmas is all about.
That's all the time we have for this edition for JSU22 Newswatch. For news anytime, visit us online at www.jsumf.edu/JSUTV22.
And you can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Happy holidays, everyone!
Said the little lamb to the shepherd boy, do you hear what I hear, ringing through the sky? Shepherd boy, do you hear what I hear? A song high above the tree, where the voice says, bring on the sea. Where the voice says, bring on the sea. Said the shepherd boy to the mighty